Welcome to the Rage Against the Mainstream podcast for the first time. Our new friend, Juan from 54 Reasons. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Just got home from work. What about yourself?
Same here. It's kind of like for like normal, like not like rock star musicians that need to have normal jobs. It's like the same exact thing for podcasters that aren't Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
So, for those that are listening, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Pretty much, I'm the singer and guitar player of 54 Reasons. I can't speak right now. We pretty much play pop punk. We've been together since 2013 and going on, almost 8 years this October. Yeah.
Nice. So, you guys are from Houston?
Yes, we are.
How's the pop punk scene out there?
It's pretty good. It's kind of hard. Well, I don't know how to explain it. Like when it comes to pop punk over here, it's you have to make your own crowd. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%. I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, that's what I try to mean when it's kind of hard. Like you have to put footwork to bring people to the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's funny too because like pop punk is such like an easy type of genre for an average music listener to like want to listen to. Like catchy hooks, like good vocals, good like musicianship. And it's just so funny because there's always been like a stigma like around pop punk where it's almost like uncool to like pop punk. It's just I never really understood it. I think it's mostly because of like the, like when everyone was in high school, like all the girls liked All Time Low and Mayday Parade and stuff like that, and it kind of like put a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, oh well, only chicks like that, and it's like, well, they do have very good songs and very good hooks, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like the name of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
But go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say?
I was just agreeing with you.
Oh.
Like, yeah, that's how it's been.
So, I guess starting out here, what are some of your influences? Like what kind of got you into pop punk, or was that something that you got into later on, or like what shaped what would become 54 Reasons?
I Obviously the biggest influence that got me into pop punk was Blink-182 and Green Day. I got into like rock music in general really late. Like I got into it like around 16 years old. Like I was really into rap as a kid, because my brother was into rap. So monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend that he liked All Time Low, and he showed me a few songs. I was like, wow, this is great. You know what I mean? And then on YouTube, they has like the suggested videos, and I clicked on All the Small Things by Blink-182, and ever since then, it's just like I wanted to be like a musician. Since then, I was like, I want to be like Tom. Not really like Tom, but like
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
yeah.
I'd be like him in a lot of other ways, only the musical ways.
Yeah. Go around chasing aliens.
It's just so funny. I mean, with all the stuff that's going on with that band now, but it was funny. I saw like a meme on Facebook. It was like we have to save Travis Barker from the Kardashians.
Oh, the curse. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that. They even started what's it called, a GoFundMe or something like that. Saw that. I was like, wow.
It's just so funny. Going back to the sound of 54 Reasons, you could definitely hear like the influences of like Blink-182 and Green Day and like all those other like early pioneers of the pop punk thing. Is there any new pop punk bands that kind of like caught your attention or anything like that, or was it just like
is a big influence when it comes to like new wave of pop punk. Neck Deep, definitely. I don't know if you heard of Belmont.
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, I actually personally like them a lot. They're great. Uh, that's another one. But it's mostly Neck Deep when it comes to like new wave of pop punk that we kind of like look up to.
Yeah, and it's like the other thing too with pop punk, it's become so like commercialized over the past few years, and like I sat down and I listened to the new All Time Low album not that long ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed in it. Like they lost their edge.
It's a little more pop.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'll give you that.
it's a little too much pop for them to be able to claim them being a pop punk band.
It's more like pop rock.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. That one single they have, the Monster song or whatever it is. Like, I mean, it's catchy. I mean, they still have their ability to write catchy songs, but like, you know, like you're just like missing it. Like it's just like it's like not there anymore.
Element, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're obviously the front man, guitar player, singer. Was your guitar playing strictly based off of pop punk, or was there any other guitar influences that you had?
When I started playing guitar, it was strictly punk rock, like just picking down super fast and stuff like that. But like as I grew as a musician, it like drifted to a little bit of blues, but I still kind of like play really fast.
Yeah.
Downstrokes and catchy melodies. But other than that, like it's just been like a lot of punk rock.
I was say because you're down there in blues country, down there in Houston.
Yeah.
So, who are some of the other members of 54 Reasons? You guys are a trio, and it's always fun to hear bands that are only a 3-piece because you were able to do so much with so little. Like, hey, you know, we don't need a second guitar player or, you know, 2 guitar players and a strict vocalist. Like, I just feel like with the approach of having like a power trio, there's just so much more like rawness to it.
Yeah. So pretty much the bass player, his name's Evan, and the drummer, his name is Aaron.
Okay.
I came across Evan in 2020, early 2020. And then I met Aaron later on, like in 2020, like around October. So
okay.
Bassist in the band.
So, you guys just released Cigarettes and Candy.
Mm-hmm.
That's an EP, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It's an album, actually.
Oh, it's an album? Okay, yeah, I mean, I haven't really had a chance to check it out. Like I said, I heard the Just Drop Me. I heard that when you guys had the announcement with Legend. And I was like, I can fuck with this band like hard. And Chris was like, I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, it's just like the instrumentals in it are just great. Like you guys just sound like really, really good together. So what was the the process of making that album like?
It was actually fun. Like our producer, his name is Richard Wickander, and the way we do it, we go into the studio and we take some demos, but at the same time, we kind of like. It's hard to explain because when we go into the studio, we just like have fun. You know what I mean? We just rip it and like just go at it. Like there's a song we have called I can't remember my own stuff. She's from a Different World. We started the process around like 2 p.m. and ended like at 6 a.m. Like,
oh wow.
We were just at it, like adding stuff, taking stuff out. It was just fun. Like
that's the thing too. It's like the whole idea of being in a studio and there's just like endless possibilities of what you can do. and to have that extra, that extra set of ears, like a producer to have. And, it's just, it's incredible. Like when you finally have a finished product and it's like,
Yeah,
this is it.
that's how it pretty much goes when we go into a studio, because there's like two type of rates you could do. You could do like an hourly rate or a flat rate, and we usually do a flat rate, so we just have like a limited time and have like the song polished.
Exactly.
Add things to it if you want.
So, with that being said, are you guys more of do you guys have more fun being in the studio, or do you have more fun being out there in the crowd and, playing shows and stuff like that?
Playing shows, definitely. That's like so fun, man. Like during the 2020 pandemic, it was just like dead. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously everything was shut down, and as soon as we played our first show earlier this year, when they started opening stuff up, it was just so much fun, dude. Seeing people is great, and like we're still a small band, so people get on stage sometimes. Like that show that we play, people just ran on stage, and it was just fun. I was like, fucking get on stage.
So, what was the pandemic to you guys? I mean, obviously you guys released Cigarettes and Candy. Now, was that a product of the pandemic? Like, hey, we need to get something done, like, let's stay productive? Or was this something that was already in the works and then it just so happened that the world ended?
Yeah, it was pretty much in the works. And then the world started ending. We were like, oh, perfect timing.
But, I mean, at least now we're in a point in time. I mean, obviously now, I mean, it really sucks to, like, talk about the pandemic because it puts like a timestamp. Like, this is this time. But, I mean, with everything starting to open back up and, everything, getting back to normal or whatever we can call normal now, are you guys getting out there and doing more shows? And are you planning on like any tours or anything like that yet?
Right now we are playing more shows. We have a show actually coming up on August 21st. And we're planning on touring later on next year.
Okay.
Around early next year, like around springtime.
Nice. Yeah. We hit on the pandemic, and of course, I always hate to bring up the pandemic thing. Like, I just like hate it, but it's like the one common thread that all of us have. It's like, yep.
Yeah.
I was stuck in my house. So, you guys just recently signed with Legend Entertainment. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
This podcast is actually signed to Legend Entertainment as well. So we're all kind of like under the same family. So what was that process like? And, getting in touch with Chris, and how did that go about?
We pretty much sent a demo, and he messaged us back, and it just went from there. He was super easy to work with. We looked over the contract, and we added some stuff, took some stuff out. And he was cool with it, and he was like, all right. It went from there. It was a super easy process. Like, well, we never had, like, around pretty much 5 years ago, when we barely started, we submitted like a demo to Standby Records, and they gave us a shitty deal, and we didn't sign, obviously, and we were trying to, like, work with them.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to. They just wanted us to sign the first deal that came to the table. And luckily, Chris wasn't like that. He was like, make sure you look like over it, and if there's something, redline it, do this, do that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Giving advice, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, thanks. Cool.
Yeah, he's a real easy guy to get along with, and a really good partner in doing stuff like this. It's funny how we even got like talking to each other. He wrote that book called The Music Agenda, and he came on the show to talk about it. And like when it was done, I was like, I read up on him and everything, and I was like, hey man, like you have a label. I was like, if you have any artists or whatever that want to come on, like, they're more than welcome. And next thing you know, boom, it was just like artist after artist after artist. And then finally a couple years went by, because me and Chris have been, you know, we have had a relationship for like, since like 2019. Then finally he was like, hey, do you have any sponsors for the show? I was like, no. He's like, well, do you want one?
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely. So now Rage Against the Mainstream podcast is a part of the Legend Entertainment family. And it's just nice because like you always hear of like, I mean, I've never had the experience of like dealing with an asshole, like interviewing them, but every person I've talked to that's affiliated like in like our little umbrella here, they've all been just like awesome. Like I haven't dealt with one like prick yet.
Eventually they'll come. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah. Eventually they'll show up, and then I'll just hang up.
You'll be like, oh, bye.
So, yeah, right. So you guys have been a band for a while. Have you guys ventured outside of the Houston or Texas area, like playing shows? Yeah. How far have you gone out?
California.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in 2019, that's when we did our first out-of-state tour. It was so fun, dude, even though we slept in a little van, Transit Connect. But it was fun, dude.
Those are small.
Yeah. We found a way. That's a good thing of a three-piece. We can just squeeze in and just
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun because we went from Texas to Colorado, and from Colorado we went to like California. And then we just came back home.
No, that's cool.
It was so much fun, dude.
So
the San Diego scene is great.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never had the pleasure of going out there. I mean, we're based, obviously we're on the East Coast, but we're based out of New Jersey, and pretty much everything here sucks.
Oh. Nice.
I mean, I hate to be like that, like scene kid, like, oh, my hometown sucks, but there's really nothing that's going on here anymore. We've already had like the hardcore thing, and you know that was pretty much it. Like unless you were around here in the 80s with like Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen, like really nothing happened here.
Like that's how it is in Houston. Like when it comes to pop punk, it's hard to bring people in, but when it comes to underground hardcore, that's what they call it, underground hardcore, where people like beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah,
those shows get full. And it's fun. I mean, I've been to one of them. One of my friends dragged me to it, and I was just watching like from like the back because I don't want to like be in the pit.
Yeah,
dude, those people hit each other. Like,
oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Like I'm used to just like pushing and then like the occasional like crowd surf. Like these guys, like they go ham. Like they kick you, they punch you,
and
I'm like, wow.
And the thing is, too, it's like, it's almost like infectious. Like when you go to those kind of shows, like it's like, it breathes like a different type of energy into you. Like it's just like
angry. You just want to beat the crap out of somebody.
Yeah, like I'm like a very mild, at least I like to think I'm like very mild mannered, but then you go to a show like that and you're just like, I don't know why. I just have this sudden urge to want to punch somebody right in the face.
Yeah, and you're able to, that's the thing.
I can't explain it. I just want to punch somebody right in the face.
Yeah, that's how it is. You walk into the fucking venue, you're like, I'm ready to beat the crap out of somebody.
So
it's fun.
You heard it here, kids.
Yeah.
So
beating people up.
So going back to touring here for a second I mean, obviously you guys want to go out past like the West Coast and everything, but is there anywhere that you're like dying to tour?
The East Coast, definitely.
Yeah, you're at the.
I've been wanting to be in like New York because I heard a lot of good things about New York. I don't know. I'm up there.
Yeah, the New York scene's really good. Actually, other friends of the podcast and Legend Entertainment artists, the Phoenix Within, they're from up. I believe they're from like Staten Island or something. So
nice.
maybe one of these days when you guys get over to the East Coast, we could try to set something up with you guys because they're another pop punk type band too. Yeah, I mean, I think the New York scene is pretty happening, and there's like a small like indie type thing going on in Philadelphia. But I mean, I'm not really into that kind of music.
I mean, I could dig it, you know, drink a beer, just hang out, be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can do it. But I'm more into like punk rock, you know, like I like the moving, like the energy. And
yeah,
stuff
exactly. I like, you know, I like Joy Division as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to sit there and listen to, you know, I'm not going to sit there and listen to a full album by some band that's trying to be like Joy Division.
Yeah.
So, I forget what I was just getting ready to ask. Yeah, let me think here. I usually have these written down, but like I'm like trying to like get it to where I don't have things written down, so I'm not like looking off to the side or reading off a sheet. Let me see here. Do you have any shows that you've played that have stuck out? Like, is there any like I'll always remember this?
Yeah, it was with Assuming We Survive. I don't know if you heard of them.
No.
Well, they came to Houston, and then the venue asked us to play, like, open up the show. And it was probably the biggest crowd we've ever played for. It was great, and then the singer pulled me on stage, and we pretty much, like, hung out. But I was like, wow. I was like, hi.
It's cool, like the camaraderie or camaraderie that like other musicians have for each other, especially like having like the ability to like bring on like someone to be like on an opening slot of a show, and then also giving them that spotlight like afterwards too. Like it's hard to explain to people what it's like to be like up on a stage. And it's also hard to explain like that exact type feeling. Like
I was shocked.
more people don't understand it.
Yeah, I was just like in front of everybody. I was like, "Oh wow!" Like this guy pulled me on stage. I was like, "Yeah, it was great. He's super nice."
So,
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. So what's next for 54 Reasons? Obviously, you guys just released this album. Is there another one that's in the works, or are you guys just gonna stick it out woodshed and playing shows for a while, or is there like a quick thing to release something else?
We're planning on releasing another album. We're gonna start on it maybe later this year and early next year, like around January, and pretty much release it like around summertime. That's the goal, you know. And it's gonna be another track album, pop punk rock.
Well, that's the thing too, like with like pop punk music, it's like it's summertime music.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna sit here in like a New Jersey winter and like, you know, play like a Mayday Parade album and be like, you know what, this is it. Like this is like I can't think of a better time than now to listen to this. It's like when you hear it, like you want to be outside. Yes.
Skating, doing something. Beating people up.
Yeah, exactly. So, to kind of bring this thing here to a close, it's not a question. Here is a chance for you to plug yourself, plug 54 Reasons, whatever you want to tell the masses. This is your opportunity.
I suck at these things, but if you're listening, thank you for listening. Thank you for having me, 54 Reasons, on your podcast. Very, very nice of you. Check us out on Spotify, on YouTube, anywhere. Just type in 54 Reasons, we'll pop out. And very humbling to be on the podcast.
Well, hey, hopefully it's the first of many.
Yes. Yeah.
So for those of you listening, I actually have it written down. I came prepared with this one. 54reasons.com, facebook.com/54reasonsofficial, and instagram.com/54_reasons.
Yes. Thank you for helping me.
Not a problem, man. Like I said, every time I do another interview, like I try to get better than the last one. It's like, you know what? I'll write down the social media pages. This would be perfect. And
yes.
This is like the only time where it was like, oh my God, I actually got to use my notes. But yeah, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, go check out Cigarettes and Candy. You can find it on all the streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, 54reasons.com. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a good one, dude.
You too, man. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week. Have an awesome weekend.
You too.
This Juan Alvarez with 54 Reasons, and you're listening to Rage Against the Mainstream podcast, and you're listening to Boys Like Us by 54 Reasons. Pretty much us.
Sunset that gets me high, a spark of life is all I need. She's my beautiful disease, and I don't ask why. I just go with it, cause she tells me it's alright. With my head in the clouds, I'm still trying to figure out everything you do, everything you say is perfect to me. Everything you do, everything you say is perfect to me. Count my lucky stars.